Nimeona nimeona what do you call this guy? Huyu jamaa alikuwa amedanganywa na Andrew Tate, anaitwa nani? Kenyan guy. This guy who had been delusional. But there's nothing wrong with being delusional. So someone just sent me a clip of Andrew Kibe. Kanitumia ka clip of Andrew Kibe. Andrew Kibe akisema yeye si Mkikuyu, akisema he's not Kikuyu, he's only Kikuyu because of his mother. And you have to know how to listen to these things. You have to really, really listen to what someone is saying, because it's not what he says, it's how he is saying it. So there's been a lot of misconception or false narratives when it comes to the story you give yourself, or the stories you've been given about your origins and where you come from. So kwa hiyo clip ya Kibe anacheka akisema Gikuyu tumire Israeli. And I talked to Monjiro about that thing, about the clip, and I said, so what do you think about the clip? First of all, Monjiro is very intelligent. She's a Scorpio, so they are deeply fixated on their emotions and feelings. And remember, feeling is the thing. The world itself, Gaia Tiamat Gaia, is already feminine, so it's more about feeling. So Munjiru akaniuliza aje, yenyewe kama Wakikuyu wanasemanga walitoka Egypt, watuonyeshe Canaan. Ni matuonie Canaan yao, ni matuonie Megoda. Nikamwambia, so tell me, what do you mean? What do you mean matuonie Megoda? Akaniambia, if the Kikuyus really say that they came from Egypt, then where is their Canaan? Nikamwambia sasa hiyo itakuwa ngumu. Well, the last time I checked, Kikuyus actually are squatters on the land. Squatters on the land. Now remember, when the white man was leaving, when the white man was leaving, a lot of people just pick up land. Like even in Zimbabwe the other day during the days of Mugabe, when you kick off the white man, he leaves the land behind, na mwenye ako na nguvu anachukua land. So niko na swali moja nataka kuwauliza Wakikuyu. Hizi mashamba mko nazo Mount Kenya, hizi mashamba mnalima kahawa na majani, cause sio nyinyi mlikuwa mnalima kahawa na majani, ni mzungu. It was a cash crop. Hizo mashamba zilikuwa zenyu ama venye mzungu alienda ndio mlichukua. So were you workers in the land? Jo kukosangi mtu mjanja. So mzungu akienda akaacha huyo in charge, na mwenye aliachwa in charge akajua mzungu arudi akachukua hiyo shamba. I want you to ask me that question, because I think you have the wrong history. I think you have the wrong information. Because remember, in the first place, Kikuyus, according to, anyway, let's forget about that history. You haitatusaidia in any way, shape and form. But all I can say and make it very clear is this: you have the wrong starting point when it comes to your history. Kikuyus, you have the wrong starting point when it comes to your history. Your history is given to you by Richard Leakey. Richard Leakey ni yeye anapeanga historia wa Kikuyu facing Mount Kenya. Huyo ni Kenyatta. Kenyatta didn't write the book. The Southern Kikuyu, that was written by Richard Leakey. Hakuna story yenyu iko written, because your story was oral. It was passed down through oral. There was no need to write. Do you get it? So you are the Southern Kikuyus. You are the modern Kikuyus. You are the Kikuyus made by the Europeans. You are not the original Agekuyu that was destroyed and left and pirates and white over. You are the Americana, Britannica, European Kikuyus. Know that. Maybe now when you know that, you are going to be liberated. Now, so let's talk about Andrew Kibe. Shout out to Andrew Kibe. Shout out to that Andrew Tate follower. So Andrew Kibe ni msee wa Red Pill. So he was watching a lot of videos on Red Pill, akina Andrew Tate. So he thought, oh wait, I can kick the same content like akina Andrew Tate. But you're forgetting people like akina Andrew Tate are what you call industrial plants. So someone like the Andrew Tate brothers, those are industrial plants. What do I mean? There was a girl, I think just last year. Actually, not last year. I think it was around either Aries time or Gemini time when we had that hack 2 thing. Remember that girl who was like, I'm gonna give you the hack 2 and keep it moving. So she was sexualizing something and it became a whole movement. She was invited for movies. She was being given $20,000 a week to just show up in cafes. Unampea 20,000 and then they just show up like in that cafe na vitu kama hizo. She was called the hack 2 girl. So this kind of people wanaitangwa industrial plants. It's there on Google. So sometimes kuna vitu zina happening and I'm like, kwani why our people don't even know this thing? Define an industrial plant. So someone like CEO, So let me tell you what the definition of an industrial plant is according to your Google. So industrial plants means a combination of machines, apparatus, appliances, equipment, instruments, and materials which together make up a large-scale stationary unit producing goods or providing services. That's now in an industrial plant inside a physical operating machine plant. Now, for the people who follow the matrix, you know that you are considered the rablats. There's a reason why you are called rablats. So in the same way, in the people's community, there's something that is called an industrial plant, where now an industrial plant is a person, male or female, who is put in these systems to direct a narrative a certain way. So what is the meaning of industrial plant building? So what is a definition? Define an industrial plant human. Let me nione kama italeta. No, they won't sexual. You know, now the whole Google industry is being turned around by AI. So whatever you'll be searching is actually what they want you to know, not what you think the reality is. So there's a whole new update system coming up. So now, when Kibe was kicking what you call the red pill thing, you Andrew Tate, and he was doing this in America, there are some things you have to do for them to uphold you. So if you're not doing those things, then they get rid of you. Now, as a social experiment, and you know me, I don't like talking about people, but this is just for teaching purposes only. I have observed Kibe, just an observation, and I've realized that Kibe is the black sheep in their family. The black sheep is labeled as the most difficult person in the family. So Kibe was the black sheep in their family. So when he came into the streets now, into the YouTube families, Akila Kitu, he also became the black sheep in the YouTube family. So he was censored, the women were against him, na vitu kama hizo, to the point of where he fell and where he is right now. We used to talk with Kibe wakati wa Twitter, we used to be on Twitter spaces with the South Africans around 2020 during the COVID seasons. And I said, Kibe, I understand whatever you are doing, but can we talk about this? I can ignore. So anyway, forget about that. That's not important. So black sheeps in families, for you to be considered a black sheep, then someone who's considered a black sheep in the family is the person who is the most sensitive or the person who's the most aware or the person who's most honest. So when you look at Andrew Kibe, he is very sensitive to the senses. He doesn't like bullshit. Ndio maana ulikuwa nasikia akisema aka kabahanye aya da shosh. So he was sensitive to the senses. Okay, everybody has got his own awakening. Kibe is very honest. That is why ulikuwa nasikia akisema kuja hapa Nyaunyo. Kibe is very aware. He's aware of what is happening on the ground. And people who are black sheeps are meant to thrive. So when I look at Kibe, namuona akiride motorbike, you know, he's crashing his balls on a motorbike, crisscrossing the counties, na vitu kama hizo. It's because eventually Kibe is supposed to thrive. Because you see, as a black sheep, whatever he's doing is adding to his intellectual property right. Remember, all Kibe now needs to do is... Actually, I think he actually wrote a book. So now he can write another book as first-hand experience, someone who has crisscrossed the counties, which is very spiritual. You may not know it, but that's very spiritual. The act of traveling. Traveling, they say that he who has not traveled thinks that the mother cooks best. Now, you see, traveling, the fact that you travel, it doesn't matter what you are doing in the traveling. The fact that you traveled is very mind-opening. So today I want to talk about the black sheep. Because kuna mtu alini DM akaniambia ati I feel like I'm the black sheep of the family. So I want to explain how you know that you are the black sheep and what your strengths and weaknesses are as a black sheep. Because you see, the more sensitive you are in the family, or if you are very dramatic, or you are weird, that is now when the time the family calls you the black sheep. So when you are sensitive, so you be the one who says, Mom, mbona saa zote si ndio tunaendanga kwa auntie, uncle, mbona saa zote si ndio tutafanyanga hivi, mbona, so, or you are called dramatic. Unaambiwa, hey, tunaenda huku, unasema mimi siendi. Or you are called weird. You are locking yourself in the room. Or the things you do, people cannot understand them. Or you be the child in the family who is made fun of. So the whole family, wanashinda wakisema, hey, when you todo iraga, or wewe wahanire, wewe watukirie huku. Ni mtoto mgani anakaa kama wewe huku? You get what I'm saying? So you are the child who was often mocked at home. Or you are made fun of. Na hiyo kichwa yako ulitoa wapi? Hii familia hatujaiona mtu akona kichwa kama hiyo. So as you grow up, you become the child that feels very alone. So you are disconnected when you are growing up. So though you are with the other family members, you kind of like draw back to yourself and you grow alone. Now you realize that you become the first child that even stops going to church. Why? Your curiosity or the things that you are interested in are the things that the family doesn't give a shit about. So whatever the family is interested in, wewe umekatana nayo. Family mzima imefunga kilemba, wewe ndio ulikataa kufunga kilemba. Family yote imeokoka anaenanga kesha, wewe ndio unabakingi. Watu wote wakienda geshagi, wewe ndio unasemekananga ubaki nyumbani, watu wakienda geshagi. It is even known among the family that when they are traveling, you are the one who's left behind to look after boma. But they are missing the point. It's because they have labeled you as the black sheep. They may not tell you openly that you are the black sheep of the family, but in a sense that is what they are saying. In a sense, you are the black sheep. Because you are the one who's aware of the family's dysfunction. So when you travel with them, utawakumbusha sana. Mugothi hadu kuroga mamugure nyama igwe mundu ucio niki gituma tugure nyama uri turathi kwone na gwitu tutiguraga nyama. So you remind the family of how dysfunctional they are. So they don't want that. So they leave you behind. You are the sibling that is always treated differently. So you'll be the sibling who, when all the other people are being bought presents, where ununuliangu presents. When it comes to birthday times, wewe ndio birthday yako ilikuwa saa zote inakaa ni kama inasahaulika. Ama birthday yako ndio ilikuwa inakuja saa zile. Every time the birthday comes along, the birthday is coming when mwezi uko kona. Mwezi ukiwa kona ndio birthday yako. Every time it was time for your birthday or something that has got to do with you. for some reason, in one way, shape, or another, they were not there for you. They were not available for you. So you'll find that in all family dynamics, people find ways to, what is the word I'm looking for? To cope. So a lot of families don't want to deal with deep issues. A lot of families don't want to address what is ailing them or what is fucking them up. So you'll find a lot of families where people cannot get married. You find families where people keep dying. You find families where they are always in court, or you find families where there is always turmoil or fights or maneno ya mashamba na vitu kama hizo. So families will always find a way to cope. Instead of addressing the issue, wanakimbilia, kama ni mama anakimbilia kanisa, baba anatoroka nyumbani anatafuta kazi ya mbali, so that they don't handle the issues. So no one is willing to address those deeper issues. So when you decide, wewe udecide, mimi nataka kujua nini nakula nyumba yetu, either uende kwa waganga, either uende kwa mehirega kenda, uende kwa udoire, uende counseling, wherever you go, that's on you. So when you start addressing those deeper issues that are ailing the family, subconsciously, the other family members start projecting those issues onto you. All of a sudden, the problem becomes you. All of a sudden, unaambiwa, wewe umeanza, umejoin dini, you have joined the cult. Okay? All of a sudden, akina Jackie Maribe, all of a sudden, unaambiwa, umejoin kanisa mbaya. All of a sudden, unaulizwa, hawa marafiki unatembea nao ni akina nani wanakuharibu. But that's not the issue. You see, you are the person who's there to break the generational curses. You are the black sheep. And so instead of the family addressing the issues zenye munakuanga nazo, and I give you examples. I like teaching with examples. For example, as an example, I send letters to my family members, addressed to everyone. I address my letters from my dad, my mother, and my other 4 siblings, because we have 5 siblings. And all of them, I'll address them like, hi, blah, blah, blah. I hope you're all doing fine, blah, blah, blah. We are doing okay. I don't like how this family stays without talking to each other. I don't like, so I'm willing to set a date where we can meet and blah, blah, blah. And they don't even come. I even invite them home. Nachinja mbuzi na hakuna mtu anakuja. You see? Why? Because I want them to address those deep issues that are running in the family. But subconsciously now, what happens is that you become the black sheep now. So now these people turn around and they start discussing you behind your back. So unakaa kidogo unasikia ala, na si watu walikuwa wamekutana mahali fulani, wewe ulikuwa wapi? Nasema mimi sikusikia. Ni nani na nani walikuwa wamekutana? Unaambiwa no, your 2 brothers and sister, your 2 sisters and brother walikuwa wameenda kusalimia mzee wako. And how do I even know? I know because my father is the one asking me, sister yako amekuja kufanya nini kwangu? Namwambia, but si huko ni kwao kama walikuwa wamekuja. Walikuwa wamekuambia wanakuja. Namwambia mimi wewe ndio unaniambia wanakuja. Wasirudi kukuja kama hawajakuambia. So this is what happens. And this is what it is. It is what it is. You now, as the black sheep now, as a person who's looking for solutions to things happening in your family, as you get older, you may start feeling confused about who those people actually are. So you start thinking, wait a minute. Could it be that maybe I don't even belong to this family? Yes, I'm the firstborn. But could it also be that maybe I don't belong to this man, this father, and they have kept it a secret for so long, and that is the actual reason why maybe you're not even respected as the firstborn, or you feel like you're an outsider? Because you have to think. You see, the thing with you people is that you don't like thinking these things. You think that it's taboo to think, but you have to think these things. You have to start questioning. Could it be that my father married my mother when she was pregnant with me? And maybe she even told my father that she was pregnant by him and it was not accurate. You have to start, so I'm giving you about the confusion that comes with you being a black sheep. And most of you on this channel are black sheep. Most of you on this channel are the psycho breakers. Most of you here are the people who are going to break these generational curses. Most of you here are people who are going to break these generational traumas. So start getting confused about who are these people. Yes, they are your family members. Yes, these are your father and mother, but who are these people in actual sense? So start questioning yourself. Why don't I belong to this family? Why do I feel like I don't belong to this family? So you start feeling isolated. You start feeling alone. And there's a lot of pain. It's a painful experience. I'm not speaking for myself. Me, I'm spiritually equipped to deal with that. I feel nothing. I'm numb like that. And also the fact that I'm a Taurus. Taurus, we don't give a shit about feelings. You talk to a Taurus about feelings, uko peke yako. We have no feelings. We are the bull. Feelings achia my opposite sign, my Scorpio sign. Achia Monjiro, ni yako 8th house. Me, I'm directly opposite Scorpio, which is the fixated sign of water. So I'm directly opposite Scorpio. That makes me a Taurus, Earth. So I'm practical. I have no space for feelings. I only have space for practical. Is it practical? Yes. Is it making sense? Yes. It is making sense? No. If it's not making sense, stop thinking about it or feeling about it. Is it practical? Yes. Twende nayo. Wachana na feelings. Hizo ni zako. It's practical, it's working. Let's keep it moving. So as the black sheep, as you become older, you start feeling confused about who these people are. Now, back to me as an example. And even why, now when you look back, you start thinking. Like, if I go to my father's phone, amenisave na surname ya my mom. Amenisave Jenga Lydia. My mom's name is Lydia. Those names wanapeangwa huko. So amenisave as Jenga Lydia in his phone. So that got me thinking, wait a minute, why would my dad save me as Jenga Lydia? Okay, I know I'm not out of my mind, but that's something to consider. Okay, because no matter how much hate your father may have about you or whatever, when it gets to a point where you save with another name, you're like, wait a minute. So I'm giving you examples. Nilikwambia, when you come to this page, I'm your father, madam, I'm like your greatest grandfather and grandmother. You learn through examples and experience. There's a beautiful body here. Imeenda, ilikuwa imekuja kuconfirm high thoughts. So now, when you go through this period of isolation or questioning what is happening in your family, mbona kwetu watu wanashinanga wakikufa hivi, mbona watu wetu waoleangwi? So you are questioning everything. How comes everyone who was named like your father's name has died? Ukienda kwa shosho yako anakuambia, tunajua mimi nimepata watoto waine wakiitwa hii jina wakikufa. Huu ndio watano wamesurvive. You're like, wait a minute. You go to your other shosho. Shosho yako anakuambia, I have 3 children, but before the 3 children, I had 8 children who died. You're like, what? So kuitheti si anainyanya magitigara 3. So unasikiza hawa wamebaki, all the boys alikuwa na name hiyo jina wanakufa. Zingine ni miscarriage. So you're like, wait a minute. Hapa pia kuna story. Hakuna mtu ataka kuongelelea. No one wants to address the real issues. So now, unajita kamkutano. Unasema, wait a minute. And the moment you start questioning, ukipigia shosho yako, by the way, shosho muda hanagatia. The story goes around the family, unaulizia, unaanza kuulizwa watu, wewe mbona unafuata mashamba za guka yako? Mbona unataka kujua kwenye guka yako alisema hiyo shamba iachanwe nayo? Mbona ulikuwa umeenda kuiangalia? You're like, mimi hata sina haja na shamba. I just want to know our history. Why would our grandfather amuke siku moja aache shamba na aseme mtoto wake asilime hapa na hiyo shamba ichukuliwe na mtu na mkakubali? Kwani what kind of family is this that just allows land to be left alone? Na land iko hapa Kabete, prime land, ati wameiachanisha. Atena kirumi mundu ndagakinye mugundo ucio. Na ukienda kufikia unasikia wamepiga simu kila mahali. Ati nikienda migunda ya great grandfather aroria yake. Ithu ni twahonokire turi ya Jesu. You're like, but I don't feel like I belong to this dumb family because there's a lot of dumbness in this family. I'm feeling like an outsider. There's a lot of what you call hypocrisy. There's a lot of not dealing with issues. There's a lot of issues not checked, to the point people just die na wana disappear, afu nasikia ati nyumba fulani kwa hapa Limuru gorofa ilikuwa ya guka yako ilichukuliwa na gashungwa kake. Ukienda kuuliza ati gashungwa kake hakuwa bibi yake, atuachana hiyo maneno, si unajua guka yako venye alikuwa. So you look at these people like, are these people in their right minds? What is wrong with this family? And why are they behaving like everything is normal and nothing is normal? Then you realize that it is a very dysfunctional family and you are the black sheep. Jueni unaona hizi vitu. And you have to look at the patterns in your families to understand these things. And I keep telling you this. So when, after this period of questioning things, when you start waking up, I'm talking to you now. You are the black sheep that wakes up in your family. You are the black sheep who has realized, wait a minute, something is amiss in all existences. I've been lied to in one way, shape, or another. So when you come out of autopilot, when you start becoming curious about yourself, when you start becoming curious about your past, so you are questioning your father, your grandfather, because to know where you are going, you need to know where you are coming from. And that is your mistake. You guys, you don't check where you are coming from. Look at your footprint in the sand. Some of you come from very dysfunctional families. And you wonder why you are not thriving. You wonder why everything you start stalls. Everything you start falls like a house of cards. Look where you are coming from. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of stench, fumes, vaha, that is following you. And the moment you start looking back, when you move out of autopilot to question everything, jiulize, mbona sikaangi na bibi? Maybe you're not even married. Jiulize, how comes I don't stay with a girlfriend? How comes, since I was in school na mpaka kwenye nimefika, how comes I've never thrived? Sijai thrive. I've never been with a person ati sasa kila kitu ni raha. Even look at your relationships. The men who have come into your life, you attract average men. The moment you attract a man who seems like they can take you out of a rut, somewhere you are stuck, like maybe they can treat you better, get you shit, then it becomes very chaotic. It becomes very violent. It becomes very toxic. So you are allergic to soft life. You are allergic to your life being smooth. You don't even know why. But your subconscious knows why. Your psyche, where you are coming from. So there's a lot of darkness inside you that you have not sat down with and made peace with. And you have to make peace with your darkness. You have to look and kukubali. I'm coming from a caste generation. First of all, you have to kubali. I'm coming from a caste generation. I'm coming from a generation of people who, when I look back in history, they have always gone down. Hakuna mtu kwa hii familia ameenda juu. It's always downhill. The story is always kuuza mashamba. Alikuwa na gari 10 akabaki na moja. Alikuwa na shamba kubwa, watoto wake waligongwa na gari, watoto wake waligongwa na baiskeli, nyumba yake ilichomeka. Kuna viwete in your family. So you are looking at everything and they're like, wait a minute. Because you have to accept the darkness first. Now you accept the darkness. Now you sit down with your dark shadow now. Now you sit down with the darkness now. Now you sit down with Smith. For those people who watch the movie Jennifer Lopez Atlas, I've been telling you to go and watch that movie. It's very good for working with your shadow work. Now you sit down with your darkness. Now unakubali, wait, I am the black sheep in this family. This is why I'm curious on mbona huku hakunanga rorashio. And I give you examples in myself. I keep telling you. Okay? In my years of existence, in our family, hatujai kuwa na graduation. As far back as I can remember, I've never been invited in my family for a graduation, at an extended family. Number 2, I have not been invited to a wedding as far back as I can remember in our family, extended family. I'm not saying that these things are important, but I'm giving you examples. Number 3, I have never been invited. I've never been in a place in our family where there was like a fundraising, sijui mtu ameenda retire, or kuna mtu anaenda kwa ndege anaingia na travel. I have never been there. I've traveled internationally by my own means. Hakuna mtu kwa familia yetu washaipelekwa airport ya anasandikishwa. Hakuna mtu tushaiendea airport alikuwa ametravel amekuja. Even when my sister jumps on a plane, she just informs me, I'm going to Ethiopia for 3 weeks, I'll be back. I'm on my way to the airport. It's done. Like, there's no pomp. I'm not saying there should be, but you get what I'm saying. So when you're observing the whole family, you're like, wait a minute. Hii familia sijaisikia rorashio from my grandmother, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my great-grandmother, in all sides. From my mother's side, ni poverty, bullshit. From my father's side, ni poverty, bullshit. Because poverty is not money. It's poverty of the mind. I've never seen our family seated together at once as in any family function at watu wameitana sikukuu. I'm the only one. Mimi ndio chinja mbuzi kwangu, watu wanakuja kukula mbuzi. And I understand even why they can't come hata dikiwaitia mbuzi, because that is something very new. They have never seen that. My father in all his age, he has never even seen that. The same from both sides. So when you come out of autopilot, you have to be curious about those people that you call family. Start looking at patterns, because we repeat our patterns. And if you want to break those cycles of poverty na hizo mashida, observe the pattern, ndio jue what to break. Become curious about the past, where your families are coming from. You are a woman, a beautiful woman at that. You are into the dating scene. Unaona huyo mwanamke wako, unaona huyo mwanaume wako, wacha kwanza kumuangalia yeye. Hebu mchungulie na hapo nyuma, brother zake wanakaa aje? Ni wazimu? Ni watu wa kane? Ni drunkards? Hebu angalia baba yao kijana, anafanya kazi gani? Ako Kamukunji, ako Kariakoo. Anafanya nini? Anauzanga taya, anauzanga akala. That is your father-in-law. Angalia mother-in-law. But I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but look at the patterns of the family you are about to get married to, because that son is going to repeat the same patterns when you have a relationship with them. Look at the woman you are getting into. Look at their past. Look at the father. Look at the mother. Look at the stories behind. Now ask yourself, is this something I'm willing to deal with? Hii ni kitu naweza deal nayo? Naweza deal na familia yenye haitaikuja kuona mtoto wangu? Unajiuliza maswali kama hiyo. My daughter is 9 years old. My mother has only seen my daughter once. Na mimi ndio nimpeleka. She didn't even want to see my daughter because she doesn't like my spouse, so akajifanya hata my daughter sasa ni enemy yake. I had to take my daughter when she was 2 years old ndio my mama muone. Na hajai muona tena up to date unless anamuonanga wakiwa na sistango na mtafuta Instagram or wherever, or and actually that is even what made me I withdraw my daughter's pictures from a lot. She had a page from when she was 2 years old, a fashion page. Nikasema hata hii page wacha tumtoe kwa social media. She's not even liked at home, so why should I even have her pictures in public? Ask yourself this question: is this the kind of family I want to be with? Is this the kind of father-in-law I want? Mulevi sazona sikianga anaendewa mahali. Because you see, you are the creator. You are not the creation. You create your own life. So when you are the black sheep, you are drawn to healing. Because now you want to heal the family. Now you want to break these cycles. Now you want to be the one who at least is speaking sense to the family. You are looking for a deeper meaning in life. You are trying to be more creative now with the whole thing. What is happening to my life? Inactivity on your life. Oh guys, you're not tapping the screen. How many people are watching this live kwanza? 42 people. Na hata hatujafika 20,000 likes. That's disappointing. That's disrespectful. If you don't like my content, naweza funga niende YouTube ama niende Facebook. Okay, the only reason people tell you to tap the screen is to keep the algorithm up. Hakuna likes. Likes are not paid. Okay, you get nothing from TikTok. So what happens is that when you are the black sheep, you begin to rebuild your life. You begin to learn who you are now. So you start questioning, who am I? Na hii ndio inafanyanga watu, unaona watu wameanza kuenda kwa mbogo, watu wameanza kujitafuta, wengine wanajitafuta wanapotea kabisa, wanajipata kwa kanisa. But what you are trying to do is that you are trying to rebuild your life. Never should ever take that away from me. When you start noticing the dysfunctions in your family, when you start questioning these things, when you start questioning kwa nini wewe ufanyiwi dawari, when you start questioning kwa nini nyinyi hamkuangi hivi, the only reason you are doing that is because you are rebuilding. You want to rebuild. You want to rebuild your lives. You want to know who you actually are. Hii ndio inafanya mpaka watu nasikia wakisema, jetago ngania musiarene ngania ngania makinya haudi mataraga muno mathiete makomete oguo gomi kwa gomi agu kwa agu. Why do you think you are even interested to know who gave birth to who? It's because you are trying to rebuild your life. You are trying to learn who you are, kwa sababu familia yako hata hajai kuambia wewe ni nani. Imebidi mpaka uende kwa bogo ndio ujue kama wewe ni Mugashiko ama wewe ni Monjiro. Nitaumire igoro ukigwa. Aturathi bogo-ini aturathi kuria bogo ati bogo niturie bogo ni ndi wa muhire gore kutori ginya ndiwe utakiumite iguru ukiri na andu. So that is showing you that the family you come from is very dysfunctional. They didn't even maintain their story to know whether you are a Mugashiko or a Monjiro. They never cared about culture. They never cared about the things other people care about. Sasa uko hapo unapigiwa kadi. Kadi zinatoka. Una Mugathegi gani? Yani imebidi your whole family, your whole extended family, nuclear family, whatever you wanna call it, bomb family, hakuna mtu anaweza kuambia wewe ni wa muherega gani. Ginya dowe ngo ujui. Why? Because they don't maintain. So that means you are coming from a spiritual system that has been destroyed to the point they never had anything to uphold. Your family hawajai kuona kitu ya uphold. They have nothing to uphold. So they have been crashing all along. They have nothing they are proud about. To the point they are not even proud about you being their son or being their girl. Ndio maana wanakubali uolewe na wataki uletewe dawari. Ndio maana wanakubali uoe wewe na hawezi kupeleka ukachukua msichana. They don't give a shit. But Christmas time mko hapa mkipretend. Si mlikuwa December mko hapa mkipretend. Anything oko anko. Imaga yode kagio uoneke matiga kudeaga oguo kana gakwa. Ni udekagia muno. Oyo no oyo ne ndirikanaga ndeheire sati itale ndariganirwo 1988. Hiyo tu ndio shati yanko yako anaweza shinda akiimba ulipelekea 1988 alipelekwa na baba yako. But every December now you are pretending. Mwana wakwa, you are shosho na kutemea mate tukagurathime tukashosho gakwa gashosho gakwa venye ulizaliwa alikuja kukuona. Bullshit. Umekuwa gashosho yake Juni December. Umekuja na gari ya kahaya. Now you are the favorite child now. Umekuja na gari ya kahaya. Now you are the favorite child. Mwana wani ndiye damu dogo thaka noyo muthuri wani wachiarire wanyendire. Nonsense. Why are you avoiding the true? Why don't we address the real issues? There's issues here. Ndio maana hata December tu ndio mnatembea nyumbani. Kuna issues kwa ground that need to be checked. And someone needs to be talking about these things. We cannot continue with this, not in 2025. No, hapana. Itabidi muache kuchukua hizo simu. Muache kuchukulia mababa zenyu simu, mama zenyu simu, maanko zenyu simu. My uncle called me 3 days ago. That son of a bitch called me after I had made a video like 3 days ago. And I looked at the phone, I'm like, you know me, kuna simu naangalianga hivi najua hii simu mimi ndio nitapiga sio yeye. But then I said, okay, let me give him a benefit of a doubt, pengine ni new year. Anaweza kuwa kona new year resolutions zake hata kama hatujaingia spring. Wacha nisikie nikachukua. Nikiotoka konyana na nedarwa ile kata hiyo simu. Bullshit. You don't even say hi. How dare you? Mimi ni daktari. Nikiotoka konyana na you are trying to make me, hiyo ni kuni gaslight. Mimi sijui umekuwa mgonjwa. Me, my uncle, I don't come umekuwa mgonjwa. Do you know how the other things I'm on my head to be caring about whether you are sick or you are not sick? And you don't even have the audacity to say even hi. Ati nachukua simu the first thing. Nikiotoka kwenye naenda, wewe wacha ujinga wewe, mimi ni daktari mimi. Mimi ni Sans Frontiers. Mimi ni Red Cross. What the fuck is wrong with you? Say hi to me first. How are you? How was your holiday? How is your people? By the way, I was just calling you. Nimekuanga home. So I called him later. After like 9 hours. The bull was raging, so I couldn't. I called him. Kasema anko. Dairi ya thimo neti nekire airtime tutinaiguana. Oh, nedarwaria athira ITC. Na ndora huko nyumba itamba undomere gasoda. Anko nikipata kitu nitakutumia nikakata simu. That guy called me like 4 more times in the span of like 30 minutes. So amerudi kwa block list. He's not changing. He's not growing. And that's the saddest part, is that these people are not changing. Now, this was not about my uncle. Now, we are talking about you now as the black child. And you, tunaongea about you as the black child of the family. So this is what happened. When now you begin to rebuild your life, because now you have your family there. You have your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your man, your woman, whoever. It doesn't matter. Your other girlfriend, if you're a girl, maybe you have a girl. If you're a man, maybe you have a man. Who cares? So when you build, now, when you are rebuilding your life now, when you start learning who you are, the whole family hates that. So what do they start saying? Kama wewe ni mwanaume, wanaanza kusema ulirogwa. Wanaanza kusema, ai, nasikia aliwa Mkamba. Hujaisikia Kamote. Hujaisikia Kamote. Aliwa Mkamba. Ay. Usimutika mweterere regi. That one is gone. Huyo alienda. Hiyo imeisha. Hiyo imeenda. Aliwa Mkamba. Hayo imeenda. That's your own mother saying that. That's your own father saying that. That's your whole family saying that. Aliwa nini? Hiyo imeenda. Now, they are not questioning that maybe you are the cycle breaker. Maybe when you unaona mashida za familia, they don't care. Hawataki solutions. Ati alifanya nini? Aliwa bibi ya wapi ya Nyeri? Wewe uliona Kibaki? Wewe uliona Kibaki alikuja akasema ati mavi ya kuku. Mimi niko tu na uliona Kibaki? Uliona bibi ya Kibaki alikuwa anaenda Nation Center ana slap akina Getobu Imanyara Wewe unacheza na bibi ya Nyeri. Huyo kijana yanyu ameenda. Yeye imeenda. Ati hikiri no ni muthuri wa Muranga. Thuri ya Muranga ni useless men. Muranga ndakona teni ya muthuri ucio ni athira. Oi muiretu itu na githomo ni athira. Araikire muthuri wa Muranga. Oi ni athira. Atekeno. Ai kuisha yeye. Your family now is speaking curses onto you. Iyo ni migabo manago ikeria riu. Now instead of them questioning, na marauga ni urathirire, yet ugithige sagire ugoka ukiaga Wanjiru na ciana ciake ni wewe ngari nene. This fact of family. So wewe ndio ulirogwa, wewe ndio ulikorogewa. Wewe ndio, you are the black sheep of the family. But ikifika wakati wa Christmas, haro okare ndukanariganĩrwo nĩ Ruth sister yaku Ruth na ciana ciake no irumithire yao nĩ mĩritũ matirĩ ngari na ngari ĩyo yaku nĩ nene. Now you want to go gĩcagi with your double cab or your MLX Mercedes Benz or your Audi or your Lexus. Okay, shout out to Steve Massage for getting a car. You always have to give people their flowers, whichever way, shape, and form. Me, I like seeing people winning in whichever way, shape, and form. So, wewe unataka uende nyumbani, wewe, your spouse, your children. Hata kama si wengi, pengine ni wawili, moja kona babysit, na mmoja. Sasa unaambiwa upitie ukichukua sister yako, ni mamako anakuambia, ama babako. Sasa mufinyane. Ni mukaiganira, akina ciana ithatu. aikare na ciana ithatu hau thutha amanyitite na akunyitire kana kau kanini na wao hau mbere muikare na muona sasa wanakupangia. Imagine hata wakuulizi ushapangiwa. Ukagerera keno ukaga nao gicagi matire mithiere. But remember, you are the black sheep. Remember, you are the dysfunctional child that they don't want to see. Remember, wewe ndio uliolewa Murang'a. Huyo mzee alikuwa Murang'a, huyo anasema ni mjinga. Ni gari yake itakuleta na ipitie sistako. Ulioa Mkamba watu mete. But huyo Mkamba ulioa ndiye muna inconvince yeye na yeye muende mulete watu nyumbani. Mutembee Christmas so that you can continue pretending that everything is okay. So when you begin to rebuild, when you start learning who you are, understand that the first thing your family will do is that they are going to hate you. But what they are forgetting, or what they don't know, is that the black sheep is meant to thrive. Hakuna black sheep hata I thrive. Unaona mwenye mnaonanga ameenda kwa mbogo, unaona nana kwa mbogo, de wa muhiriga uriko horera kadi muhiriga kenda. Shout out to wherever people go. I don't give a shit about where you go, hizo ni zako. Huyo ndio thrive. The black sheep in the family always thrives. The dysfunctional child always thrive, because that is the child who is always willing. Wewe, you are the child who's willing. You are the one who's more aware than them. You are the one who's going to become the cycle breaker in that family, because you are no longer accepting self-betrayal. You are no longer accepting dysfunctionals in the family. You are calling them out. You are starting to take care of yourself. You are starting to take care of your needs. So unapigiwa simu unasema asa, nego matomera fea magoka kivi yao. Ogorofia niyo ina thina ri, nego tumira ruthu fea. Ne girisiga na ruthu. Gutumira ruthu ngiri ithatu kaurira ruthu haro ruthu ndeigwa ni wenda guthi gicagi. Ni uko gitukuaga ni undu wa ciana. Asa, nego gutumira ngiri ithatu tugacemania gicagi. Don't try to inconvenience me. Wewe travel at your own leisure. Unaenda unasimama kwa barabara kwenye unasimamanga unasema tutengenezee mananasi. Unatengenezea unaenda unasikia dad I need to use the bathroom. Unaweka indicator the next pit stop. Shell ama Rubis or whatever. Unaweka indicator unaingia unapark. Unatoka una stretch unasema nani alikuwa anataka kukojoa? Come. Naambia mama peleka kasichana mkojoa. Mnaenda kukojoa unaona ala kumbe hapa tunaweza umba kakitu. Mnaona hii ni Buffalo Mall. Mko Naivasha. Mnaingia mnanunua 2 bites. Because thrive guys. We heal together, we thrive together. It's your time to thrive. Most of you are not thriving because you are carrying too much weight that is not meant for you. Na unabeba watu wezi badilika. Mulitoka gicagi December. Ebu saizi sikiza venye wanasema about you. Pigiwa story saizi sikia venye wanasema umetoka gicagi. Hata hatujaingia December ijafika tarehe, Januari ijafika tarehe 10. Wengi mulienda gicagi mukapigana. Hapa. Mumeja hapa. Mulikuwa ocha December. Mulirudi kama umepigana. You are trying to blame it on alcohol. Didebe waga. Tuanyulia joy kinyago kiuma bara. Alcohol has got nothing to do with that. It has got nothing. It's not alcohol. Apana. You are coming from a very dysfunctional family. Look at the patterns. Angalia babu yako na nyuma ya babu yako. Ndio hiyo Gatorome negetana. The Lamb of God, whatever. Kuja hapa Abraham son, we sacrifice you right now. Sacrifice your lamb. Most of you are like that, sacrifice your lamb. Most of you, mko kama Joseph. Unaenda kutolewa sacrifice na babako. It's only that God intervened that you are alive. Most of you are only alive because God intervened. Mungefanywa kama Abraham with your own fathers. Your own fathers sabotage you. Your own mother sabotage you. The things they speak about you. Ito kuona kuria gokinya na makari maumake. Your own mother. Ito kuona kuria magothie. Mumeenda na bibi yako gicagi. Wewe uko hapa uko shughuli zako na watu wa kijiji. Bibi yako anaingia kitchen. Your own mother anaambia bibi yako, wewe ulisema utazalia mtoto wetu tena. Ni mayai hauna ama ni nini? Now they are terrorizing your wife. Wamegang up on your wife na masisters wako. Wewe tu unataka kuonyesha uko na watoto wawili. Kwani hiyo matiti yako unaona ikiwa special? Unajua bibi yako hawezi kuambia kwa sababu akikwambia utasema anaonea familia yako. The things your wives are told by your families. Kama they can confess zile vitu wamesikia. Mamako ameambia bibi yako akuache wewe. Mamako anaambia bibi yako ati si kijana yangu naonanga anakaa namna gani. Ukiona anakusumbua ukipata mtu wewe muache uanze maisha ingine. Ako kama baba yake, your own mother. Anaambia bibi yako akuache. Your own mother anaambia bibi yako akuache. Why? She's not happy you are thriving. How dare you thrive na husband yake yako thrive na wewe ni firstborn. Anataka usafi ya kuone hapo. But you are meant to thrive. As the black sheep you are meant to thrive. Wewe ndio unaonanga hizi vitu. Wewe ndio una questioning hizi vitu. Ni venye hujaipata mtu wa kukuambia ukweli. Si lazima uende Geshagi. Nani amekwambia why go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. Uko they tolerate you kwa sababu wewe ni wao. They don't celebrate you at all. When is the last time they choked on you? I'm very sure hata nyinyi mmerudi Nairobi hakuna mtu alipiga kuuliza kama umefika. Kuna watu wako hapo hajai ulizwa gane makinyire Nairobi. Nemwathi yegethi na wega rure. Uko ri nitungia muhengo koi. No ru nguku ino turende komererie unanyimwa kuku ati natarikana ilalie. Na hiyo kuku hata ukiuliza history utasikia ilali yangi. Ni mwera no ginya ni mwera urutite rwara. Hiyo mwera imekuwa huko 9 years mpaka imetoka manyoya. Uwezi pewa ukakule. Hii tunaona ni kama sasa itaralia. Ungeenda nayo lakini tunataka tuipe mayai tuone kama itaralia. Ulirudi mkono tupu. Ngo. They didn't even ask you kama ulifika. Banao uko hapa ni January sasa, ni January. Haro. Ni urajigua. Nindirakwirire Kamau ni arathire form 1 na ndai na kiratu. Wewe niwe waciarite Kamau utakwaragĩria. Hata wakati ulikuwa Geshagi gari yako ilibiwa side mirror na una suspect ni Kamau na ni unafaa ulipiwe shule. Nani mwingine nyumbani anajua maneno ya side mirror apart from Kamau? Nani mwingine huko kwenye ukiangalia angejua maneno ya side mirror? Si ni Kamau tu ndiye ametoka shule juzi. Uliamka siku moja Geshagi ukakuta gari haina side mirror. Ati zilingolewa usiku. Jua naonanga kwa YouTube zinangolewa usiku hata ajui kungwali haribu. Sasa alipia Kamau shule. Na ni by force. Halo. Marahingũra rũciũ ndagũtũmĩra list ya mabuku. Parentification. Why? You are the black sheep. You are thriving. You are not allowed to thrive. How dare you thrive? How dare you thrive? Where others are not thriving. They pull you down. Be careful. Don't you understand that your mother is the one who's... Your mother has her words. Unaona the words that come out of your mother. As a son, wasichana kwanza. As a son, the words that come out of your mother can destroy you. It doesn't matter where you are in life. Hata kama wewe ni kasongo. You can have everything in life. All you need to do is listen to your mother, the words that are coming from her mouth, and you are done. Do you know how many business empires have failed? Because the mother said things to those men, and those men took those things to the heart, because your mother is the person you trust most. Na waliisha hivyo. Unasota hivyo. Done. Madhako siku moja nakuja na kuambia you will amount to nothing. You are nobody. Na dukanaje mamu wanyu. Leo ogire nyodo ici yakwa. Ukioga nyodo ici yakwa ye. Ndako yutigana mutumia ucio na ndugitigana nake. Nawe ndaugo. Those are your stupid mom. Nitokuona kuria gukinya. You took that to the heart. And that was the end of your business empire. Hata ujui ilianza kuisha lini. Iliisha the siku ulienda Geshagi ukasikiza mamako. Now you started looking at your wife like she was a nothing. Unaanza kuangalia bibi yako like she's the enemy. The enemy is within. Collateral damage. Be very careful with the words you allow. Kuna vitu hufai kusikiza. Babako asikuadvise about marriage kama wako na mamako. Mamako asikuadvise about marriage kama ana babako. You are a single lady, yes. Your mother is a single lady, yes. Understand that your mother cannot advise you on relationships because she's already single. Sasa atakwambia aje maneno ya mjulus na yeye ako single. Labda ule kangethe wa butcher na kukula wewe. Sasa mtakulango na kangethe mkiwa na mamako. She's not your friend, she's just your mother. You'd rather even now have another woman who has a husband who anaweza kuadvise on how to keep a relationship. Babako anakuja, no yatumia medaga atiriri. No na mamu wanyu na ni athire riu mamu wanyu na miaka 15 kuma umbago. Atumia medaga. Shut the fuck up. You cannot advise me on how to keep a woman when you have not been with a woman for 15 years. So learn to what you are listening to. There are some things that zinafaa zinaingilia hapa, zinatokea hapa. Or you put words in your ears. You listen to nothing. Find people who are like you, like-minded people. Find your community. Find your group. Find your soul group. Find like-minded people. Hata kama utaona physically, get online. The world has become open. Get online. Have friends in Senzen countries, in Scandinavia. Just find people you can relate with. That's actually your actual family. When Jesus was asked about his family, his brothers and mother, he said, no. Do you see these disciples? Yes, this is my family. Do you see these disciplines, the disciples? This is my family, not my mother, not my brother. Na sisemi family zote ni mbaya. Hapana. I'm not saying all families are bad. But 90% of African parenting is toxic. 90%. 1 in 10 peke yake ni unaweza pata parenting inaenda vizuri. 90% is toxic because it had the wrong starting point. Unaenda kusalimia shosho yako, nasikia shosho yako akikwambia uko witole kashosho kameinama. Baada ya kuuliza how you are doing in life, kazi yake ni kukwambia unajua huku sijui kama babako alikuambia huku tunafanyanga wasichana nini. Naona kama mimi nikiwa msichana, mimi hata nilitoroka nyumbani nikiwa msichana nikaenda kutahirishwa huku kwetu. That is your stupid shosho. Hiyo ndio ile kitu anataka kukupea. The only advice your shosho can give you is to go and have your clitoris taken out. Sasa hiyo ndio ile advice naona amekujenga sana in 2025. Ni deka ile tukanini, ni dorire moshie. Kiura moshie. Kiura, ni dorire todo nini deda kugimara. Sasa shosho yako anaona amekujenga sana. Kwambia uko na deni ya shosho yako. Wewe shosho grow another clit, go back there, get it taken out. Stop your nonsense. Sasa wengine waki-inherit wealth, mashamba, Moibay farms, na huku Narok, wao una-inherit scarring. Wao una-inherit not being able to give birth in future. Because you listen to your shosho. Ni familia. Familia gani hiyo? Familia kujengi na kubomoa ndio unaita familia. Yaguka, uka. Guka. Nede guka guo. Garana. Nde hire baki. Gena mundu ode hire tuthigara to afko. Tuthigara turi wanda hire ona bagitiro nduire njigite haria ninyonagia andu ngamera my son ade hire thigara cietagwo camel agurire kuri afko. Uka. Nona baba wanyu ri. Baba wanyu ndimwiraga atiriri. Ni menya baba wanyu ndimenyaga uhoro wake. No iguka guo ari watumia igana. Ugukagu ari watumia igana na ndiona ni ugite tuindo no ina makali manene mutumia ono we nake nduikia tumia rutige gukiga ongerera tumia ciana ni cia Ngai ongerera tumia tiga gukiga. Sasa grandfather yako hiyo ndio ile legacy ataka kukuachia. Baada ya kuachia legacy ya kubuild ataka kuachia legacy ya poverty. Wewe bibi watano, watoto wako wasome public school. Hiyo ndio advice. Sasa hiyo ndio advice ulikuwa umeenda Kishagi all the way, umechuma mafuta umechoma mafuta hapa toka kwa nyumba we. Hizo songs sasa ndio zimekushika toka kwa nyumba mkiringia watu. Watu wa mlima tuko na barabara. Watu wa mlima ni private cars tu. Tukienda Gishagi ni private cars tu watu wa mlima. Kahaya. Ni private cars zote ni za Kahaya. Mnaenda kushow off Murang'a. You have nothing in Murang'a. Watu wa Kisumu wanaenda na matatu na shuttle ndio, but wanaenda kwa shamba zao, hawajauza mashamba. Kikuyu hamuna shamba, you have nothing. Mko na shamba, nionyesheni mahali mnalipa ngano. Kikuyu mko na shamba, nionyesheni ngano, nionyesheni mahali mnalima ngano. Wakikuyu nionyesheni ngano. Hamuna ngano, you have the slave crop. Mliachiwa kahawa na majani, hata mkunywangi mnauzianga mzungu. Hamuna kitu, mliachiwa ng'ombe, you are the slave people. Kazi yenu ni kukamua ng'ombe, unapeleka maziwa daily. Hata uwezi kula cheese. Ujui cheese ni nini? Ujui ghee ni nini? Unasikianga ghee. Unasikianga cheese. Wewe unajua tu maziwa. Na chai ya familia mzima inapikangwa na kikombe moja ya maziwa. Tathima iria. Tuthima iria na kikombe kiria kinene. Hiyo kikombe hata hajafika chupa nusu. Tini kiria kinene. Thima iria ruga sai. Yote mnakimbiza daily. Mnangojea mwisho wa mwezi. Mulipwe. Hata stima mjaiweka 50 years after independence. Watu wa mlima tunaendanga nyumbani ni personal kazi meka. Kahaya. Watu wa Western. Wote wamejaa gari za Western. Wako na mashamba. Nani anauzanga sukari? Western. Ngano iko wapi? Kwa Wamasai. Cash crop. Unavuna ngano unalipwa cash. Wewe kazi yako ni majani bonus. Miaka 50, shamba tu ni kahawa na sukari na majani chai. Slave crop. Hujai hata kula. You can't afford cheese. Cheese after sasa ka middle class Kenya kameenda kamekula pizza. What is this? Extra cheese on my pizza. Sasa unasikia umeongea kizungu. I want extra cheese on my pizza. Mtoto anakuuliza, "Mom, cheese inatokanga wapi?" Hata ujui, unaenda kugugu unasema, "Haya by the way daliga na ile iliane ko. Haya cheese umai iliaine." Na mko na ng'ombe. So wewe, if you're watching this live, let me see the comments. If you're watching this live, the black sheep is meant to thrive because you are more aware. You are the cycle breaker of the family. You should stop accepting those dysfunctional relationships. Hiyo ni self-betrayal. You are betraying yourself. Ukienda kwenyu ukijua kwenyu hakuna peace. You are betraying yourself. Ukienda kusalimia mama yako ukijua mamako hapendi bibi yako. Start taking care of yourself. Start taking care of your own needs. You have your own needs. Integrity. Accept that not everyone will understand you. Not even your father or your mother. And it's okay. Hata ni kitu umegrow nayo. Since childhood, you have accepted this. Babako hakununulia uniform. Alikununulia uniform ukiingia shule form 1. That was the end. Hizo zingine mpaka ulikuwa unaokota fulana ya shule, unaenda nayo nyumbani, unashona, unaambia mama yako nilipewa na rafiki yangu na uliokota kwa wapi. Na mama yako ana accept usome na sweta ya kuokota. You are always meant to thrive. Hakuna mahali ulikuwa difficult. No one should ever make you think that you are difficult as a child growing up. Ati wewe wali muri tomo no gekura. No, mimi sikuwa mzito nikigrow. I was a child. What do you mean nilikuwa mzito? I was not difficult. I was not a difficult child. I was a child. I had needs that you couldn't meet. You are too busy drinking, doing your own shenanigans, my dad. You are too busy, mama, fucking everyone in the village or whatever you are doing. I was never difficult. My needs were unmet. And now that I'm a grown-up and I'm speaking for myself, now you are labeling me the difficult child. Let this life ya leo ikuwe validation. The validation you need to keep going. Wacha ikuwe ni life ya leo. Even when these people misunderstand you, take today's life as the validation you need to keep going. You are doing great. Let me see comments. You are doing amazing. You are beautiful people. And these people should stop taking advantage of you. We are in a new year. We are starting the new calendar for yourself in a high gear. New year ni spring. But we're in a new calendar. So we take this time between now January and March. Tutumie bado hii time. We are still in Capricorn season. We use this time before we get to spring Aries. We use this time to clear. We are getting ready for the new year. Tuko Capricorn season. Tunatoka Capricorn, the new area, tuende Aquarius, tuende Pisces. Tuanze kushed saa hizi all this garbage. Ndio come the year of the snake. 2025 is the year of the snake. We're in the year of the dragon. Come the year of the snake, we have to shed the own skin. Shed the own skin. Just like a snake sheds its own skin. We shed the old skin. Tukiingia year 9, the year of the snake, tuingie na ngozi mpya. Refreshed, young skins. So start taking your cinnamon. I want everybody who comes to this channel to start aging backwards. I want you to start becoming happier, healthier. I want your skin to start going back, not age kuzeeka. I want you to start glowing differently. Mpaka mtu anakuuliza, there's something about you. There's some changes within you that I don't understand. They don't have to understand you. They don't have to understand you. Wewe peke yako ni unafaa kujiunderstand. So let's get ready for 2025 spring. Let's start shutting these things. Write the things that you don't want to take into the new year. By the time we get to spring, ukuwe umeanza kukata hizo vitu saa hizi. Stop accepting less. Stop accepting less. I have 3 kids, I look 28 with none. Yes, hata 28 bado umeenda sana. I want you looking 20. I want the next time someone takes you on a date, they ask you for your ID before they fuck you. Waanze kuogopa. By the way, ID yako lichukua lini? Cause wanakushuku. 3 kids doesn't mean shit. Nataka ukitoa matiti yako imesimama. Na tribodi yako tira nyodo. Matiti imesimama mpuko na hizi menyonywa kweli. Wewe shut up, nyonya ni time yako ya kunyonya, achana watoto. Focus on becoming the best versions of yourself now. That is where we should be. It's enough. It's enough. Go absorb your gossip, but don't become that gossip. Gossip is very good. We need gossip. Pss, 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 pss. Yes, hebu kuja nikuambie kunaenda aje. Naona kiritu kile kihara gitagwo waji kuna igwo gitina aye ndoigwa mani gitira kihegecire gikihura selfie nyumba mani kirahura mani andu marazum haria thutha marona dawa cia HIV tiga wana nyonia biza gaigai ni mani sister sigugu haye gikoragwo kiinje mana ndenda gwika meni kiritu giki kimendukana rio tari na iguru meni kidukana rio tari CD meni. Gossip is good, it saves your life, but the right gossip. Chai ni mzuri, but the right chai. Don't become that chai. You get what I'm saying? So don't be distracted. Be focused on your goals. Saizi ni back to school now. Simuliza, ulikuwa unafikiria ni kitu mzuri sana. Focus now. And the focus is to move your children from public school. We have to educate these bastards now. We have to break the cycles. Try as much as you can to take your child to a better school. Ndio maana tulisema, if you are a teacher, unakujanga hapa, start your own content. Tutakuwa tunadonate, tutakuwa tunatuma gifts. Watoto wakitoka shule saa 11 wanakaa, tunamwekea, unapenda TikTok kuja hapa. Unamwekea tripod hapo na TikTok. Chukua kitabu. Deal na teacher hapa. You get what I'm saying? Those are the tools to break free, to become better versions of ourselves. We have another 12 minutes. Wacha niangalia comments. I've not been looking at the comment. Let me see if there's anything in the comments worth mentioning. Haiwezi. This is so true, son of a what? They say we'll be cursed if we don't pick phones. Fuck that curses. In fact, the curse is the phone. The moment umereceive hiyo simu ndio curse. Unachukua simu unasikia ugire mamu wanyu arwere sasa hiyo ni nini amekuanzisha nayo? You are thinking of how you are going to pay your school fees, how you are going to pay your rent, how you are going to meet your needs, how you are going to do. Mtu ukichukua simu, sasa, do you really think I care about your sickness ama the bills facing me? Sinaona hata kuchukua hiyo simu ndio kazi, hata afadhali ungechukua. Juu sasa amekuongezea, itumekilia weko, atumemhurumia. Black tax. Okay? The lost connection. Why am I losing connection? My uncle called me yesterday asking mbona sikumtumia sikukuu. Hang up on that uncle. Yeye alikutumia? Yeye alikuwa amekutumia? Tene awotho na mukonyo. Datho ya mukonyo wenda ushonoke. Uresi yathoite maita maigana. Do you know how many times your uncle amejaribu kukuna just to test the theory? Keditho ya mukonyo kau kanyone. Ameikuna mpaka inatoa damu. Hata ile wakati ulikuwa umesikia ameenda hospitali alikuwa amekuna mkonyo uone mbaya huku uona mbaya. Akagwara vibaya ikapata infection. You never died. Your uncle hawezi